Language Lesson 14. So we are still talking about nouns, and we are talking today about how to make nouns plural. So there are 8 rules, oh my gosh, 8 of them, on how we make nouns plural. So first of all, singular, if you have something that is just one, we call it singular. One baby, one goose, one dress. These are all things that we have just one of. They are single. If you go to Marble Slab or Brewster's and you get a single scoop of ice cream, you get how many scoops? Just one. You get one scoop. So when you have just one of anything, a baby, a goose, a dress, a pencil, a door, a window, a light, a sign, a chair, a couch, a stove, when it is just one, we call it singular. But when you have more than one, everyone say more than one. When you have more than one, we call that plural. It is plural, it's more than one. So different words are made plural by doing different things, okay? So if we have the word paper, most words are made plural simply by just adding an S to them. So paper becomes plural just by putting an S on the end of it. Papers, and I did not make that P correctly at all. So we make paper plural by simply adding an S, papers. That is rule number 1. That is the first rule. Rule number 2, when you use the word rule, it just sounds so rigid, doesn't it? Rule number 2, to form the plural of a word, if our word ends with S, or if it ends with X, or Z, or CH, or SH, any of these endings, like the word fox, ends with S, like the word church, ends with CH, like the word dash, ends with SH, like the word, I'm thinking a word that ends with Z, but we can go with these ones. Any of these words that end with S or X or Z or CH or SH, we make them plural by adding an ES. So if we have the word dish, we make it plural by saying dish es. If we have the word fox, we make it plural by saying fox es. If we have the word dash, no, we already did that. If we have the word church, we make it plural by saying churches. So these are ways that we make these singular nouns plural. So our rule number 3 is we form a plural noun of words ending in Y by changing the Y to I. So if we have the word puppy, we're going to make puppy plural, this is rule 3, by changing our Y to I. So we're going to write P-U-P-P-I, change the Y to I, and add ES, puppies. That is how we make words ending with Y plural. We change the Y to I and add ES. Rule 4, if we have a word that ends with Y, let's look at the difference between these two words. Here I have puppy, and here I have tray. Now, they've already told me, if my word ends with Y, I change my Y to I and add ES. So why do I have another word here that ends with Y? They already told me this rule. Because there is a but to this rule, kind of. You know, you do this, but only if something. So I want you to look at the letter before the Y in the word puppy. It is a P. P is a consonant. So when you have a Y in front of your consonant, you change the Y to I. But when you have a vowel, look at this word. We have an A in front of our Y. When you have a vowel in front of your Y, then you just add an S to make it plural. Tray becomes trays. Day becomes days, D-A-Y. to make a plural is just D-A-Y-S, okay? If you have a consonant in front of your Y, change the Y to I. If you have a vowel in front of your Y, just add an S to it. Another making nouns plural rule is if you have a word that ends in F or F-E, like the word wife, it ends with F-E, you're going to change your F-E to V and add E-S. So you change your Y, you change your F-E to V and add E-S. Wives, okay? Now, every time a word ends with F, doesn't mean we do that, because if you have the word reef, you just add S, reefs. And there's not a, you do it this way, but or unless, like it is with your Y's over here. You just really have to know which words that you're going to change your FEs to V's and add ES's. You just have to know which ones they are. Thief. Thief is another one. It ends with F-E, T-H-I-E-F. So you're going to change your F to V and add E-S. Thieves is the plural of thief, okay? Another rule is to make the plural of a noun ending in O. So here we go. I'm going to erase some of this up here. Remember, plural is more than one. So if we have the noun tomato, is that what I want to do right now? Yes, tomato, T-O-M-A-T-O. Now, my noun ends with O, and notice there is a consonant in front of my O. So to make this word ending in an O plural, I will just add S. I will add an ES, not just an S. Tomatoes, okay? But now, if we have a word ending in O that does not have a consonant in front of our O, like the word patio, there's an I in front of our O here. So in this word, we just add an S. Okay? So if you have a consonant in front of your O, you add ES. If you have a vowel in front of your O, you just add S. Okay? And then our last rule is any musical word, like cello. Cello is a beautiful instrument. So, or like piano, or like trio. Trio is when three people are singing, or three musical instruments are playing together. Any of these words, if they are a musical word, trio, cello, what was the other one I said? Trio, cello, piano. These O rules do not apply at all. Any musical word just ends with S. We don't have to change anything. We don't do ES. If it's a musical word, it just ends with S. Okay? So I want you to get out your books. You may open them to page 34. You can pause the video while you do so. And all the information I have given you is on page 34. It's a little bit neater in this book, I must admit, than it is on the board. But it's that same information, Rule 1, Rule 2, Rule 3, Rule 4, all the way down to Rule 8. So on page 35, you're going to form the plural of these words. Write out the rule for each box of words, which explains how you formed the plurals. So the first is just going to be rule number 1. So you write out the rule for rule number 1. To form the plural of most nouns, you add S. And then you're going to write each one of those words out, just adding S to them, okay? For the second box, you're going to write the rule number 2, to form the plural of nouns ending in S, X, Z, CH, or SH, you add ES. You're going to write that rule out on the line underneath where it says rule 2, and then you are going to form the plural for each one of those words. And you are going to do so for the same thing on pages 35 and 36. You will complete that on your own. The rule is right there for you. There's no reason for me to do these with you. You write the rule out and then you follow the rule, okay? So that is your assignment for today. Do your best. If you are a remote student, you need to be sure that that is in your packet to come back to school. If the backside is not done yet of that one, no, I think that is the same page. It should be 35, 36 together, I think. That is to come in your packet behind Friday to come back to me. And the rest of you, it needs to be in your red folders to bring back to me, okay? All right, y'all do a good job.